everyone, and welcome back to another episode of It Canon podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Kaitlynd.
I'm B.
I'm T.
And I'm June. We don't make the rules, just the commentary. It's a canon event, and we can't interfere.
Period. Today, we are going to be discussing a book that we all read as a buddy read over the winter break, and I'm really excited to talk about it. It was a book suggested by B and T. It is called Depraved
That's how unhinged it was.
Truly.
I'm so sorry. It is called
Depraved.
No, exactly. That's exactly right. It's called Depraved Devotion by Morgan Bridges, and it is amazing. I'm going to kick it off to B&T to give you the what's what and let you know about the spoilers that we may or may not have in this episode.
So for those who haven't read Depraved Devotion by Morgan Bridges, it follows character Geneva Andrews and Ghost. Geneva's a criminal psychologist who dedicates to understanding the criminal's mind, who becomes entangled with Ghost, the MMC, as a patient. Ghost is a brilliant and ruthless serial unaliver who becomes obsessed with Geneva. So it's a dark romance that explores intense attraction, obsession, power, and bondage that blurs the lines between protection and possession. So if you haven't read it, we're about to unpack it right now.
Oh, wait. I should show the character art.
Yes.
There she goes. There she goes.
Look at them.
That's hilarious.
That's a black king.
Yes. No, this is the character art.
We love that so much. That character arc is gorgeous. I had the Kindle version, so I was not blessed with the character arc, which is why I am telling everyone listening to this podcast or watching it, get the physical copy or you will be missing out. I had to ask for pictures.
I think that they actually should include that stuff in like Kindle versions. They should include character art.
I think it really depends on, I don't know if it's funding or the author or the publisher or what, but some books do and some books don't.
Maybe it's like an integrity thing.
Yeah.
Because Kindles don't.
I'm like tried and true Kindle reader, and I've had a lot of books that do have artwork in them, either at the beginning or the end. It really just depends on the author. Sometimes indie authors who are like super indie and like publish it themselves to KU before they even get into bookstores, they'll have their artwork in there if they've had it sourcefully found, whatever, and they want to share it or however they come to find it, it's there. But then other books, it's not in the KU version or Kindle version, because I bought the book for Kindle, but it wasn't on KU at the time that I got it. No artwork, sadly. But I have read some books that do have it.
It definitely sounds like intellectual, not intellectual, integrity. It maybe is intellectual integrity or property or something like that. Because, Kindle, what, you guys don't actually physically, or you don't actually own the book, you own like the rights to the book or something like that.
But the thing is, I bought the book for Kindle. This one I did buy because it wasn't on KU yet, and a lot of new releases, they don't get pushed to KU until, especially if they end up becoming traditionally published, they don't end up in KU until like 2 to 4 weeks after the physical copy release or the release date, which honestly I'm okay with. It helps with sales, and like the author would get hopefully more profit before it hits KU, which like it's been out there, like the profit margin for KU is a lot different for authors and indie authors. But this one I did buy for my Kindle specifically. I bought the book before it was available on KU, but I saw that other books by Morgan Bridges was on KU. This one was not.
Well then, yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but they need to fix that.
Morgan Bridges, if you can remedy the artwork or explain.
I love her so bad. I love her so bad.
I love you so much. Like, this book was amazing. And educate us. If you're an author and you've published to Kindle, educate us on the artwork process for that, because I have noticed there is a difference between print and publishing, and there's also a difference between indie authors and traditionally published authors. But before we dive into the book, B, do you want to give some disclaimers for this episode, because they might be necessary?
This episode may contain spoilers, exploration of some dark themes, and sensitive topics. Please be advised and continue listening at your own discretion.
You've been warned. We will discuss some spoilers of the book, and this book does contain some dark themes. It's a dark romance, and if you are willing, we encourage you to read it. And if you are okay with continuing listening, we're going to hop right in, and we're going to start with our first impression. So B&T, what were you were the ones who told me and June about this book. So what were your first impressions? And then June and I will share our first impressions.
So I went in with low expectations. Like, those are typically my expectations for any book. I never let any sort of review influence me, right? But obviously this book was an arc, so there was nothing to really gauge it. So I went in there completely blind, didn't know what this book was about at all. I started the first chapter and I was like gripped, immediately gripped, pulled in. I was like, okay, I like her. She has confidence. She's smart. She don't take no from men. I love her already. Then chapter 2 comes around and then you meet Ghost. And then you're just like, he's unhinged. That is unhinged. And so I think just the dynamic of like having this really brilliant FMC and this very unhinged MMC, and then watching her trying to navigate her emotions and feelings in relation to him was just so intriguing to me. Could not put that book down. Yeah. Could not stop reading. It was amazing. 4 out of 5. You know why it's 4 out of 5.
Oh, we're already
But
getting into ratings. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that later. I know what you're talking about.
We'll talk. What was your first impression?
First impression, I was obviously gripped by the first chapter, and I love a strong FMC anyway, so that's like, oh yeah, I like her. And then meeting Ghost, I was like, oh, you real crazy. I like you too, kind of. I shouldn't like you, but you know, I'm gonna try. It got me into it. So that's my first impression. I was immediately like loved it. So couldn't stop put my foot down. So I was like, oh, he did what?
My little white-haired fatty. My little.
I love him. I mean, I hate him.
Oh, I love him and I hate him at the same time.
I think
Mama, I'm in love with a criminal.
Oh,
yes. I think
we
the first 2 chapters we were like, girl. Like, oh my God.
I want to go on a tangent so bad, but I won't. June, what were your first impressions?
Okay, so my first impressions, I was very impressed because I had actually gone on a string of like weak and annoying FMCs in books, and I was like, I can't do another one of these. But B&T have never led me wrong in terms of the books. So
have any of us? June?
Yeah, actually, Kaitlyn's never steered me wrong too. I can say that with
that
full
part.
faith. So I was reading it and I was just like, oh, I like her. Like she was strong, she was smart. She was just like, you aren't about to tell. Like I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I was all about that. And then Ghost came out, and I have never ever, like, he has white hair, but I've never been like a blonde MMC type of person, and I feel like white and blonde is kind of so I was just like, I think that I'm not. It's not gonna be like that. The first words that came out of this man's mouth, I was just like, ah! And then again, because we did this post spoilers, I'm gonna do a reenactment. I was sitting here leaning back in my chair with my feet kicked up, and I was sitting here reading the book, right? And then he said, look, ma, no hands, and broke that man's neck. I sat up. I said, whoa. I said, whoa. That's the type of energy we're on. And I was hooked from that point forward. Yeah.
I was the people in the courtroom like,
girl, the way I was like, immediately you closed the book and you're like, what is wrong with me? Why did I like that?
Yes.
Why was that attractive?
That was us talking the entire time while reading. We were like, both me and Jude,
right?
Y'all had finished it. We were like, we know we shouldn't like this person. We understand this in our brain. But
that was T and I. We literally were reading this and we're like, I have never related so much to an FMC because she dealt with the same thing that you as the reader felt,
Yes.
which is
Yeah,
conflicted.
yeah.
I felt, oh my God, I related to her so much. That's probably part of the reason that made it so good.
And it was voiced so well. It was voiced really well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, because that's the one thing I have a hard time with is if it's not voiced well, and I'm like, girl, you're just being stupid. But no, she was trying to lodge. She even went to therapy about it. She went to therapy about this, man.
She did the one thing we should be doing.
Yes. And so I was reading it and I was just like, man, I feel like I need to be in therapy because like I'm reading the book and like usually when I'm reading the book, I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I love this MMC so much. Like give me more of him. And with this book, it's like, I don't love ghosts. Like I'm not in love with ghosts. I'm obsessed with him. Like I'm addicted to him like Geneva is. Cause it's just like, I know that what he's doing is wrong. I know he's a sociopath. I know that he kills people or he unalives people, but like I still want him.
Yeah.
That part.
Don't want him. For me, I ate this up like it was a little sponge cake, like a freaking strawberry shortcake sponge cake, and I love those things so much. I used to make
a light dessert.
yeah, I ate it like a light dessert, and it was not even that light. That's the hard part. That's the scary part. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Like my initial reactions, I was like, okay, this is a lot. And I love the fact that the FMC, Geneva, she started off so strong. She was putting people in their place, like chapter 1. And that's what I love about a woman who can put someone in their place. Chapter 1. Love that. And then we keep going. B&T, you guys were very forthright in your advertising of the book with the retelling or reimagining with it being Joker / Harley Quinn, but it didn't hit me until this one specific scene, and I'll try my best not to spoil it. But when that hit, I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Because to me, and I'm not fully into like action and like that world, but Harley Quinn is always like a superhero villain. To me, she's a superhero, but she's one of those characters that's like, you're too smart for everyone else. Like you might be a little like kooky, but like you know what's going on. This is, to me, it's a front. And like for Geneva, like she understands how to put herself forward and also take things apart in her brain, and I love that. And like just reading that, my initial reaction, I just fell in love with her. I love strong FMCs, I love smart FMCs, but I also love smart FMCs like warring with themselves over a decision and still ending up with like maybe not the best one, but like good for them. And so my first impression was like, this is a good book. Finish the book, still a good book. Everything was so great. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I thank y'all B&T for this rec because it was amazing.
I'm so glad you guys liked it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, for real.
So on one hand, I do thank them because I rated it 5 stars. I liked it, but I do feel as if they just wanted us to be as tortured as them with that cliffhanger of an angle. I read it and I was just like, I know that cannot be me. I know this. There's another chapter here or something.
Let me tell you, my heart dropped. I was like, no, she didn't. No, she didn't do that.
I just want to say that yes, June, you were correct.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I think we're admitting to something we brought to court in the group chat a while ago, but go ahead. Keep going. Incriminate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Keep going, B. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. I said she's 100% correct about how the cliffhanger really just leaves you gutted.
Right.
You know?
Okay. Yeah. We will talk about that.
As far as anything following that,
I spoke too soon.
We didn't know that it was going to be. We didn't know that it was going to devastate you in the way that it did.
Insert clip of June. And screen recording of our following text when we had to enter the court.
I still think that the judge was a little bit biased because the judge is roommates with the person that I was going up against.
Hold on.
Let's bring you closer to the Austin. Really, slide you up.
All right. So, hearing your part and then hearing B's part, I feel like I judged pretty, fairly. Absolutely. We were all shocked by the ending. All of us. So you gotta take into account that she was shocked, you were shocked, we were all shocked.
And to piggyback off that, we immediately, out of concern for you guys, we approached Morgan.
No.
And sent her a message and said,
part.
Morgan, we need the next book. Because we knew that how it left us feel, and we
Your
didn't want
Honor,
that for
relevancy. Your Honor, relevancy. Because this part was not brought to our attention, and my client and I will no longer speak about this. That was not brought to the attention in that argument.
This in findings.
Relevancy. This is new. And we
So
perjury. Order in the court. We're gonna segue into our next segment, which does still involve Depraved Devotion, and it is our It's Canon segment, which last time we did not explain very well. We just hopped right into it, but we will kind of explain it a little bit for the readers. So It's Canon. We already know the term canon when it comes to fiction or like storylines, TV shows, whatever. It's something that is biblically law for that storyline. Then we have our head canons. These are things that we come to think of as true. So our It's Canon segment is kind of a blend of it all. It's something that we've seen repetitively in the bookish space, in books that we've read, and we just kind of want to argue about it. We're bringing it to the jury, and we're going to discuss. And this time we're going to cater it towards Depraved Devotion with our MMC Ghost, who is a morally black character. He's insane, but we love him anyways. Maybe jury's still out on that, but it kind of encompasses like a lot of different dark romances that we've read too. Should morally gray black MMCs get consequences? Because so far it's not canon. That's not something we see. So we're each going to give our own ruling, and majority rules. Is it canon? Like, yeah, it's totally fine for morally gray black characters to not have significant consequences that kind of derail them from the book, the plot. That kind of would happen. Or is it non-canon or soft canon? Conditions apply. In some cases, it's okay for these morally gray black characters to get away with things. Killian Carson. Oop. Or Ghost, if we're going to be specific to this book. Is it okay that he got away with this man got away. Can we talk about he got away with a lot of things, listeners and watchers of this podcast. If you haven't read the book, you need to. This man, this MMC Ghost, has gotten away with a lot of crazy stuff while incarcerated. So I want to bring it to the court. Is it canon, non-canon, or soft canon? We're going to be thinking about Ghost.
Your Honor, people of the court. First things first, I would like to just state, Ghost hasn't really gotten away with anything. Even within the prison. Okay? Did he really get away with anything? I mean, he's in prison. It's very realistic that inmates who have some sort of power can manipulate correctional officers, intimidate them, enough to, escape prison temporarily. Okay? That's not him getting away with it. That's him utilizing his power to his advantage. Now, am I defending him? Maybe. If I were in his shoes, would I do the same thing? Maybe. I'm just stating we're making an accusation of him getting away with things because why?
I agree, because even though he escaped, he went straight back to his cell. And so I'm just saying, he know he guilty. He know what he did, and he's still on business of what he did. That's why he did what he did in the courtroom.
Not him returning home.
Okay.
Stuck to his character. Okay.
So I'm going to say I think it's soft canon. I do think that obviously morally they should have to have some type of consequences. And I am going to agree with B&T. I do think in this book he did deal with consequences because, again, he was locked up for a vast majority of the book. Did he leave and come back to the prison? Yes, but was he in prison? This man turned himself in. So I feel like he did have to face the consequences of his actions. Now, that being said, do I think that he faced the consequences of all of his actions? No, because he did unalive her ex-boyfriend. He has an alibi of being in jail, so he's not being tried for that one. So I do think that there are some things that he did that he didn't necessarily receive consequences for. Now, that being said, do I think that he deserves to pay the consequences for that? No, because I think that's a whole separate question as to whether the unalivings were justified. And me personally, I feel like they were. He gave that cop plenty. He gave that cop plenty of warning. When he pushed him the first time in the trial, he said, "Touch me again and I'll unalive you." He touched him again. He gave him warning. Plus, he beat his wife. Lobo was trying to unalive Geneva. The only thing that he could do was unalive Lobo. Her ex literally punched her in the face. Like, there has to be some type of consequence for these things. Like, nothing that he did was not justified. And for me, that calls into question the list of people that they said he unalived in the trial. Like, what was his reasoning for unaliving those people?
Like a Robin Hood.
Like, yeah, I feel like it could be a Robin Hood type of thing. So I'm not fully on board with labeling him as morally black, because there's something, he's doing it for a reason, and because of that, I feel like it's soft canon. Because I mean, Morgan Bridges proved that you can have consequences in the book and still have the book again, because he was in jail a majority of the book. So you can do it. It just depends on how you write it. But I would just like to say that I would need to revise Ghost's whole case.
Right.
I need to see more
That's
evidence.
Fair.
Yeah.
Not unfortunately, but fortunately and unsurprisingly, I do agree with June. I think it's a soft canon. I think it's more of a case-by-case basis. I think in some books this works so well. And in this specific book, it worked well because technically he had some consequences for some of his actions. But I almost want to go like non-canon in a sense that like he still got away with so much. But is that his fault because he was that smart? He outsmarted that system.
And my thing is, I feel like we can't really blame him for that part either, right? The correctional people could have said no. It was their job. They're free people. They get paid to do this job. They could have said no, and they didn't. So therefore, all he's doing is saying a couple of things, and they're the ones that are really corrupt in the grand scheme of things. They should go to jail.
No, honestly, I mean, if Ghost could get away with, conniving and scheming and getting his way in and out of incarceration to do these acts that are still very much insane and crazy, illegal, but willingly come back. That's the thing. He willingly came back.
Because I think he knows that he deserves to be there. He knows where he belongs.
I said that's another thing. If Ghost knew a way out, he could have stayed out, and yet he chose to come back.
Because he knows. Absolutely.
I think that's soft canon for me. Like, sometimes I do wish, like, I would have loved to see him kind of get caught in some of those situations and not always, like, have that way out. It kind of felt like everything was smooth sailing for him except for the FMC. That was the only time it was not smooth sailing. Anything he set his mind to outside of Geneva happened. It worked. It was smooth at the end of the day. But I would have loved to seen one of those plans foil for him and it have nothing to do with Geneva. To me, that's why it's soft. Like, borderline soft.
Do you mean, like, as far as his criminal acts, you wish you would have seen...
Like, one of the escapes, just like a parole officer or like an officer there be like, no, not actually gonna, like, catch him in the act. Like, that kind of, I would have loved to see it.
Didn't it happen in, like, the jail yard?
But at the end, like, no. Like
where he was
But that guy
It was,
still
like, in the jail yard.
That guy still got
He,
taken
like,
away.
provoked
He
something?
like still like won one of the guards over, and the other one
see,
was like
yeah.
taken to solitary. So it was like
So he didn't have to turn himself in at all. He didn't.
right.
Turn himself
No, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got away with all the other lions, and no one would have batted an eye and would have known it was him. Obviously, his goal was to get to Geneva. But, like, do you think in his mind, in the back of his mind, he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna turn myself in. I don't like too many people.
No, he's a
Absolutely
psychopath.
not.
There's
He-
no way
yeah.
that
So he felt
no way.
nothing for them.
Yeah, he didn't
But
feel
He
anything.
had an alternative motive to get to somebody else, so he had to turn himself in.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing: he could have gotten to Geneva any way he wanted to.
Yeah.
I
Very
think he's
true.
doing it to
Very
manipulate
true.
her.
That's the thing. I
yeah.
would have maintained that entire plot line with him in Geneva, but I would have actually loved to see something else outside of his control, like fail. You know?
I feel like we did kind of see that with Lobo. That was not part of his plan at all.
But it still had to do with her.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be
right.
outside of her, like because he met with
Something that has nothing to
yeah,
do with-
he met some
Yeah.
other people, random people, like
So
you know,
that's
like,
why I still think we have time for that in the next book because
Yeah.
there's this one kid that
Yeah.
during that jail yard scene.
Yeah.
I don't know his relation or what his relevancy is, but I feel like there's gonna be something there that may not have anything to do with Geneva.
yeah.
So I'm hoping for that, but I get what you mean for
Yeah,
sure.
we do have more time, and that is, I think yes, this would be considered a hung jury at this point because we kind of.
I'm soft canon for sure.
Oh,
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
also
No, for sure.
unanimous.
I definitely, yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely.
Canon.
Okay, y'all said can't. Okay,
No.
court
Soft.
adjourned.
100%.
Jury has come to a conclusion, and right now, its canon has declared court adjourned.
Woo!
Do you think that the reason some of these authors write these morally black MMCs and let them get away with everything because they feel like it's fiction, it shouldn't feel realistic?
That's where the canon part comes in.
Yeah.
Like they just it becomes like a whole thing. Like this
Sure,
is
yeah.
it's like a learned behavior. Like because they're
Yeah.
morally black, they can get away with these things.
I feel like it makes the character, and this says more about me than anybody else. I feel like it makes the characters more attractive when they can get away.
No, that's
with it.
real. That's real.
Because I'm just like these people, like it's the confidence they have to be doing these illegal or like morally great acts, and then they still get away with it. Like the confidence to do it, the like competency to get away with it, like all of it. Like I'm just like, wow, he's really that guy. Like I
Yeah.
feel like it makes him more attractive.
That's what makes it become canon across like books. Because that's kind of our whole podcast. It's like determining what's canon across books, not just specific books. Because that's what canon kind of gets like subbed into specific worlds, universes, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking across books, across genres, like just things that have become accepted either by authors or by the readers. And like, that's something that's just like, this is just how we do things. And
Has to be in the book, right? Because if it wasn't, then we'd be like, what are we reading?
it becomes a formula. But then also like sometimes we kind of vibe with a little mold shift. Like sometimes I kind of want something a little
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
Like
I kind of wonder sometimes, like, how do they come up with this? Like, why do they want to create a character, a MMC, that is morally black or gray? And why does that attract us as readers?
I think, specifically speaking to the female gaze, we love when a man yearns. They do in the book. Like, they want to burn the... Like, I don't like when I see black MMCs that just perform things that contribute nothing to, like...
morally black,
FMC, you know what I mean? Like, they're... Everything is done with intent and purpose. So when they're like, I'm moving these obstacles out of the way so that I can have this clear path to you, right? I'm going to burn the world down. And I think we crave that sort of like yearning, like, I feel like we just eat it up.
and not even specific to the female gaze. I think everyone just really wants someone who wants them so bad they'll do anything,
Sure.
even if it crosses some lines. But then it takes a turn. That's when we get to morally gray, morally black, where a lot of the lines are crossed. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the FMC. They've either already had a history of it, or they're going to keep continuing on this line, but it's still attractive because they only look at you, and that's all they want, and they'll be good for you.
I feel as if I like it specifically because I feel like, and this is going to sound like a pot shot to the men of our generation, but I feel like the men of this generation just aren't protectors or providers in the same capacity that I feel like they should be. So when I'm reading a book and it's morally gray MMC or morally black MMC, I feel like I feel protected. Like I feel like as the FMC, I can really live in like soft girl era because I know my man's about to handle this. Like my man doesn't play about me, and so I feel I like it because I feel like I can relax. I can relax. I can do what I want, and I know that no one's gonna come for me as a result. Yeah.
No, I like that, but it leads me to another question, which I will ask before we get into our next segment, because our podcast does kind of circumvent romance, the genre romance, which notoriously does have a happily ever after, an HEA. Is that another reason why we're okay with like, you know, the darker romances or like these morally gray black characters, because we already kind of know going in it's gonna have a happy ending in a sense, like it's gonna turn out okay, which may not manifest in the real world, but like it's still like a good escape because they're gonna do all these things. They're gonna be bad, but like they're still down for me. And at the end of the day, we're gonna end up happy. Does that make sense? Am I asking that right?
You're right. No, you're asking it the right way, and I genuinely don't know how to answer it because you're making me think like, what is wrong with me? Because if that happy ending wasn't there, would I still love it? You know what I mean? Would I still want to read it? Would I look at the MMC differently?
Yeah.
You know, it feels like everything that they do in these books as the MMC, regardless if they're morally black or gray, it feels like it's always done, obviously, for the FMC. And that is what grips me, right? Is because they're doing it for someone and they're doing it for the love of someone. But when you remove that, it's like, you're just a villain. Like, you're not even like...
terrible. You're just like the men
person.
I see every day.
Yeah, right.
It would be like the show You, Joe.
Yeah.
He was morally
Joe
thought
Goldberg.
He was a good person,
That man was
but
crazy.
he was a morally, I would say,
Black.
character.
Yeah.
What he thought was doing good was actually terrible. He's a terrible person.
And I haven't finished the like most recent season, but like either way, none of his FMCs end up happy.
Alive, breathing.
Right. Like, they're all 6 feet under.
That one, I think that's a good cross section between psychological thriller and romance, like a dark romance. Like there's so
They
much.
played into that right.
Yeah, that one's really
The way they made us feel, I'm like, dang, I can't like him, but some moments I do.
When you're in the head of that male, the MMC, it helps you justify everything.
And
we weren't
that's the thing.
aware.
Yeah, we're in his head 90% of the time, and I'm still like, you know what, Joe? You're still doing wrong by every single girl.
Yeah. right. But do you find that little sliver of like, oh, I get it.
He means well.
But when he's invested and obsessed, he's invested and obsessed.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, that part.
I feel like if you did take out the happily ever after, whatever it says about me is whatever it says about me. I don't think I would read the book because I feel I had this conversation with my mom because she didn't understand why, because I was crying about a book I was reading. And she was just like, June, how can you cry about a book you're reading, but like in real life, you know, like dealing with other people's emotions? And I was just like, well, and so, well, I feel like when I'm reading a book, I feel safe in that environment because I know like whatever's happening, it's controlled. Like whatever is happening in the pages of the book, I know if I close the book, I can close the book. I know at the end there's a happily ever after, so I feel safe in the sense that like I guess I can emote more.
Yeah.
So I feel like if there wasn't a happily ever after, I feel like I wouldn't necessarily feel safe enough to like actually read the book. I feel like it wouldn't be as big of a pastime for me, I guess, because I feel like it would be more like reality TV. Like there's no like it's like one of those open-ended SVU cases where like the person doesn't get caught. I hate those episodes.
I do like that you use controlled. I like the way that you use that, because that's exactly why we read these books, because we know that it's a controlled storyline and we know where it's headed. There's room for surprise, but there's room at the like close. We know how it's going to end, regardless of how it makes us feel in the middle.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I also love the fact that we've mentioned SVU 2 times.
Every episode so far.
In the 2 episodes we've recorded, we have mentioned SVU. And I have never watched that series, but I do know. I can't. I see here. We'll talk about it later. We'll unpack that later. Okay. It's fine. Yeah. I can plead my case next time. But I definitely want to hear from everyone really quickly your thoughts on the chemistry and the characters of Ghost and Geneva from Depraved Devotion, and then also just a little bit about the plot and writing, and then we'll talk about our thoughts on the ending. But just starting with the characters, how do we feel about their vibes? We kind of talked about Ghost, we kind of talked about Geneva, but let's just like hone in on the chemistry and then the plot and the writing style.
So I think they have a very interesting dynamic. I think there's no romance, even though it's kind of, they think there is, or at least Ghost is a psychopath, right? Like he doesn't feel, he's aware of what's happening, and I think he just has an obsession. And I think Geneva is just intrigued. So I think their chemistry is kind of stemmed from 2 different things. Like she's just interested in him because he fascinates me in some way, and I'm gravitating towards that like fascination. It's like a shiny object that I just can't stop looking at, and I want to learn more and more about it. And he's also kind of like leading her to him just because of all the things, these vague things he's saying to her. She's like, he knows things that I need answers to, right? And then Ghost, I don't know his purpose for wanting Geneva quite yet, but he's manipulating her, obviously, and he's obsessed with her for whatever reason. And I feel like their chemistry is just kind of like a concoction of just 2 different things, and I don't think either of them on the same page, but they have this unexplained tension, even that I'm still trying to decipher it. But it's like, there's chemistry, but it's not organic, and it's not in the way that we think it is.
Yeah, I want to bounce off that. It's like so interesting how, it's so interesting. There's the intensity. I'm just like, I don't know what this is. It's like a ball of intensity, and it's just like
explosive.
It's gonna explode. It's like a bomb. It's like, oh my gosh. And I think the chemistry is soon to develop to something, obviously.
Yeah,
but
more than less.
Interesting.
One is
absolutely. Like, I'm here to get inside your mind and who you are, and the other person's like, I don't know why he's obsessed with her. So
yeah, because he's such a conceptual person. He understands concepts, and I think once they start having that like understanding, it'll start to develop into something a little bit more.
I think for me, this is one of the few books that I've read that have featured psychopaths that have a layer of like, I can see why this person might be thinking that. It's almost like it's also almost like they have a little bit of the tism, which I have. So I can say sometimes we're so aware of what other people are feeling, but we also like the filter sometimes being able to, like, I can understand why this person might be feeling, like me personally, I can understand why this person might be feeling this way or react to this certain thing. However, my response is still my response. Like your reaction does not impact my reaction, but I understand that. And that's what I felt a lot from Ghost. And I also feel as though like there was just like, oh yeah, just this presentation of psychopathy, and then also Geneva's interaction with him, it gave so like patient doctor in a sense. Like, I'm just more intrigued by you and fascinated. Definitely I would say it does err on the side of insta lust and insta love over chemistry and connection. Like,
For sure.
I don't see any chemistry between these two characters, but I do like the way they vibe, and I do want to explore it more. And like y'all were saying, like, we don't know why he's obsessed with her. I would love to actually see him go through that cycle of being done. Like,
Same.
This obsession is, I'm kind of like, not just her like engaging in this obsession, which we saw in book 1. We saw her engage and be able to play with that because she understood. And that's another thing, someone with a high IQ, you like, there's so many psychological things, but like someone with a high IQ who understands the mechanisms behind how another person behaves and can play with that, and she played with that. That's another thing. Like, morally, like, she's morally gray and black. Like, to play with someone else and like psychologically knowing how they would react or respond, and like, I did this just because I knew, and this is the reaction they're going to give me. And then he gave her that reaction. Like, it was very protocol. But I would love to see him go through that cycle, because it's very much real. Like, hyper obsession, or like, I'm just like so on this thing. I want to see that end, but then come back in a sense. Like, I think that would be really cool to see. Like, I've never seen a character be in this genre of romance where, like, obviously, hopefully, we never know. I've read other books that, didn't have that happily ever after. They were just very scarring and scary. But, and still in the romance genre. But, like, if it is going to have a happily ever after by the end of the series, if it's more than 2 books, I would love to see a character just, like, have that cycle of, actually, no, I'm kind of done with you. And, like, also have the other character with Geneva, her being so smart, be like, okay, yeah, that's actually kind of done. So I'll leave the equation too. And then they come back. Not one of the characters be like, oh my gosh, why is he done being obsessed with me? Oh, wait, he's a psychopath. I just feel like sometimes people think they understand psychopathy or like other neurological disorders, but then it's just not that. Like, that person's still just, like, and not saying that these characters or people with these diagnoses don't deserve love, or they don't deserve like going through these things, but like, it's very real for like a huge long period of time where you don't know where you stand with that person. That person will not tell you, and it's not because they don't care, it's because they can't. And I would love to see that, but I would say their chemistry is not there, but the lust and the way that they interact was very impactful and very engaging.
I will say that I'll agree with you. I think the chemistry isn't all the way there, but I do like the relationship between the two of them. That being said, I do think that Geneva's hesitation in being involved with Ghost makes sense, because I also felt the same way reading the book, because as we know in the book, he is a sociopath. Like, she's diagnosed him as a sociopath. He's diagnosed himself as a sociopath. And the whole thing about sociopaths is that they don't have feelings. But Ghost genuinely thinks that he does love Geneva. But in my opinion, I feel like Ghost can't be trusted in that capacity, because A, he's never loved anybody before, so how does he know? But B, he doesn't actually know Geneva. I feel like he saw her tear apart that grave site, and he was just like, yeah, that's my girl right there. But like, does he actually know her? Does he know her hopes, her dreams, her likes, her dislikes? No, I think that he knows she has a darkness in her, and he likes that.
That's what he's attracted to.
And that's why he went through all this trouble. And so, as Geneva, I too would be concerned, because I'm just like, I think that it is a hyperfixation, or I think that it is obsession, and I would be concerned that at some point, if it does get to, like Kaitlynd said, if it does get to the part where he's done, are you going to try to kill me or unalive me?
Right.
Like, I would be very concerned about that. So that's why me as the reader, I couldn't really fall in love with Ghost, because like, I think Ghost might try to unalive me. Like, I'm telling you, like, when he got mad because she said she wouldn't run away with him, I thought that was an insane ask in the first place. But when he got, I was genuinely concerned. I was just like, man, like he was just like, I'm done. I was like, ooh, she needs to watch her back.
And what do you mean by done?
Exactly, like you're done with me breathing.
Are we done with life?
Exactly. And so for me, I question whether the feeling, like I don't think that the relationship itself is genuine, I guess I would say, because I think that if they ran into each other in the outside world, like Ghost didn't turn himself in, I don't think Geneva necessarily would have given him a second glance.
Yeah.
I feel like he manipulated the circumstances that brought them together, and then he manipulated the circumstances that continued to have her basically in his face, like doing the interviews and whatnot. Yeah. So in like I don't think she herself was personally invested. She was kind of forced into being invested. So yeah. I think like the relationship is I like the dynamic. I like the book. I am chomping at the bit for book 2 as well. Yeah. But I can't say that those two are necessarily a good fit.
Do you think she was forced to be invested? I asked because in the beginning of the book, was she forced to go to that trial?
No.
Valid. No, she was not.
Went on her own, which that feeds into what I was thinking based off of what you were saying, June. What does everyone think for Geneva? Is there a camp called Camp Geneva? I feel like there is. Anyways, sorry. Out the way. Sorry.
ADHD.
Yeah, I'm ADHD OCD. I'm basically the alphabet. But no, this leads me to a question I wanted to ask everyone. For Geneva, do we think she's more on the line of lust and intrigue or love? And what does that mean for book 2? Can she transition from, if you believe she's on lust and intrigue, can she transition into love with the character that is Ghost? How would she do that? Or is she already at love and it's just like an insane kind of love?
I think it's lust and intrigue because ain't no way I love that man. Come on now. He already crazy. She already said like, no, you ain't it, bro. I think she think he fine. And he tall and like, yeah, you fine. You get that one time, you get another time, you done. You know what I'm saying? She's already said she never dates, she never get in a relationship, and already established like I'm not a relationship type girl. I'm not looking for nothing. Mm-hmm. So already she's like, I'm just think he fine shit, and he crazy, but you know, it's what it is. You know.
Yeah.
I think she knows his mind and getting to know his mind, I guess, but he already hitting on her and he's like, okay, he fine though, like he can hit once,
maybe 3 or 4 times,
maybe 5.
I definitely think right now it's lust and intrigue. I think she's more intrigued than, I don't know, it might be really an even division there. But she's equally as lustful for him than she is intrigued.
She don't love that man.
And I think it will shift into love.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, but I don't think it's going to be like the most organic version of love.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I think he is going to manipulate her. I think he is going to show her, he's going to bring out that part of her that she is so scared to show anyway. Like, she knows it's there, right? And I think he's going to bring it out of her. And I think he's going to give her all these answers. Because, like I said, he's speaking in all these vague ways to her. Like, I know this about you. I know this about you. Like, he's teaching her about her without saying it and wanting her to show it. And I think she's going to fall in love with the fact that he brought this out of me. He showed me who I really am. And she's going to fall in love with that. And she's going to misinterpret that as love for Ghost.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing. I'm convinced he knows what he's doing.
So I agree. I think that it is lust and intrigue. I think it's a 50-50 mix too. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me the longest to realize that this was a Joker Harley Quinn retelling. It wasn't until Kaitlynd put it in the group chat I was just like, oh shit, that makes complete and total sense. But I feel like it will, in book 2, it'll go as close to love as possible. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that it's love because I feel like you have to fully trust the other person. Like, to love them, you have to fully trust them. And again, in the nicest way possible, I don't think that Ghost truly knows what love is. And I do wholeheartedly believe that if he gets it in his head to unalive Geneva, it's a
He
wrap.
would do it.
So
Absolutely.
exactly. So I feel like I think it'll get as close to love as Joker and Harley Quinn are. I don't think that they're
Absolutely.
actually in love in the comics. I think that it is just a mutual obsession and a mutual like finding somebody who's like you, and you like birds of a feather flock together. Like you can want to be in this company of someone like you, but would I call it love? Not necessarily.
That was going to lead me to my next question. Do we think Geneva is also a psycho or sociopath? Because maybe she's sociopathic, which are harder to spot than psychopathy. Both and other diagnoses do have extremely high IQ and can very well blend in. So, especially if it is a Joker Harley Quinn retelling. Harley Quinn is she's a little out there.
Sociopathic.
She's got a lot of stuff going on. So, does Geneva know love? She's never had a successful relationship. She does not really like dating men. She doesn't like being told what to do. Like, are these just two likes? Are these just two North Pole magnets going to repel? Are they, like, what's going on here? That was my other thing. Do we think in the next book we'll see more of her being, like, we see her, she's presented in book 1, which will be so interesting, as this well-off, successful psychiatrist, detective person in the law, like, you know, dealing with everything. Will we see this turn into, she got this, but she's also like a little bit, she's got other things going on, which make her more like Ghost, which might be why she's attracted to him, you know?
I think yes. I think we're going to see a very sociopathic side of her. I think right now she's masking, right?
Yes.
Under this impression where she has to lead this certain life, right? I have to be a good citizen that leads a successful life, that attempts to have normal relationships with people, right? And so masking is the right term to use. Like, she's performative.
Yeah.
But Ghost is going to pull that out of her. He is going to show her. And that's why I think I agree with June. Ghost is not a lover. He doesn't know what that is. I mean, he knows the concept of love. So I think he knows how to perform as if he loves someone. I think Geneva is going to fall into that. And I think she feels a little bit. I feel like just based off of the things that we've read so far, she obviously has these like really big emotions, right?
Yeah.
But I think Ghost is going to be the manipulator here, and I think Geneva's going to fall right into that.
And then I want to go off that and go back to the Harley Quinn and Joker. The Joker, he became intrigued to get what he wants with Harley Quinn. And she became, as you know, the situation, the cliffhanger, Geneva, the guys got to go after Geneva. What if
Geneva killed him?
Yes.
She goes crazy and she's like, nah, you ain't getting me. And all of a sudden she snaps.
She's not a damsel.
Okay.
You're right. That's a fair
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
That leads us to all talking about the ending. That's the way the cliffhanger happened. I was talking to the girls, everyone here, and specifically B, I think I finished it. B and I kind of chatted about the ending. But I did not like the way the book ended because it was just, for me, just so unlike. It just felt like bizarre to me. Like, I would have liked to see a little bit more happen before the cliffhanger. I would have actually liked to see some action. Either Ghost saw what happened right before he's like, Geneva, I'm coming for you, or what T's getting at, like, that's the only way I could change my rating from where it is to something higher, is if book 2 starts with Geneva being like, I just killed my 10th man or something like that. Like, it would be crazy if it was more, if we find out that she's killed more than one person. But even if it's her first kill, like, we've already seen her handle herself, but we have Psycho Ghost over here, like, oh, she can't take care of herself. So you saying that, T, kind of makes me feel okay about the current ending, but I was originally upset with the ending because it just did not give what I wanted it to give. I wanted there to be a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that would be a really cool. So I agree with Kaitlynd and I agree with T. I feel like I wish that I felt the ending was a bit abrupt. And again, I thought that there was going to be another chapter or something. I feel like if I could have my ideal rewrite, I would have had it be more so like Ghost, oh, like someone's coming for you. I'm going to try to like, I'm on my way. And then we flip to her POV and she unalives that man. So I feel like I would love that to be the start of the next book. I think that's a very good question. This is going back to Caitlin's question about if Geneva is a psychopath or a sociopath. I think that's a very good question. And I think, I don't know if I'd say she's a sociopath. I could buy psychopath, in which case, again, because a normal person wouldn't get involved with someone like Ghost. So I feel like in some capacity there has to be something that's off about her. And I feel like if she ends up unaliving this man, I feel like that'll kind of trigger in her mind, like, okay, maybe I'm not normal. Like, maybe me and Ghost aren't so different after all, which I feel like that's how the Harley Quinn Joker thing would play off of each other. So, yeah.
So, here's why I don't think she's a psychopath. Because I feel like, again, psychopaths have high IQ. And I feel like she is way too emotional for her to be a psychopath.
But she still has a super high IQ.
Right, which is why I don't think she's a psychopath, because she would be more understanding of feelings per se. Like she wouldn't. She's such an emotional being that I feel like she would be aware. First of all, I also think, and maybe I'm wrong on this, I would feel like a psychopath wouldn't be so interested in a psychopath. Like I feel like she would already understand Ghost. There wouldn't be this desire to learn about him as far as his brain, because she would understand it. But maybe she doesn't realize she is one, and maybe that might be why.
I think for women, though, especially with specific diagnoses, we have very different characteristics in how we present things. Like I specifically for women, and then to go even further, like Black women with autism, like half of us don't find out until we're adult. We get so used to masking, so used to it. We understand how to behave in society, but then like it's like the brain mechanism just does not function the same way. So like, what if that's the case for her? Like she has this high IQ, but she also has trauma. She's lost people very close to her, and maybe not psychopathy, maybe just sociopathy, or maybe she has other diagnoses, but like she has exhibited some very, very good signs. Like she's, and that's the thing, that's the other thing. Half the time,
maybe she's so interested in him because he's more like her than she thinks.
The other times we've read, at least to my knowledge, the four of us have read about psychopaths are not in the POV of said psychopath unless they're obsessed with someone. We're just seeing them exhibiting those behaviors, and but we've never been in a woman's POV with this for us reading it. And that's not to say we haven't known anyone or but like I think for women, like it might be a little bit different. What if Morgan Bridges is on to she's like kind of like she may not, but if she were, like this would be something that would make me want to read up more on how this presents in women, especially later on, especially post-trauma. Like
that's good.
Yeah, I would love that. I did want to touch on the ending.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people, I don't know how to explain this, but there's a good way to write a cliffhanger, and it doesn't have to be like abrupt. Yeah, you know what I mean? Which I feel like this was very abrupt. And to kind of go off of what T said, I like the idea of like maybe if we had just gotten a little bit further into that ending and like been in Geneva's head because she knew this was about to happen and he was in her apartment and he was about to do whatever, and we just see this switch, right? Like just even in the way she was thinking, if we have just, she didn't even have to make it apparent, but if we had seen the switch and the way that she was thinking and how things were turning a little bit darker, which leads us into her villain arc, I would have loved to like be left off on that note, because that's still a cliffhanger.
I was gonna say that B reminded me of like the guy himself. I forget what his name is. I feel like it goes back to her snapping, because this is the same guy that like assaulted her friend, and she played a very integral role in getting him locked up in the first place. So I feel like she's gonna channel all of that anger, plus the fact that again he is breaking into her apartment to try to assault her as well. So I feel like all of that's gonna go into her, I guess, first scene of the second book, I guess, of her like losing it and like brutalizing this man.
She just should have ended it a little bit later. I feel like that's where she's headed. Okay, but she just ended it a little bit later.
So I was thinking back of when she was at the graveyard and she snapped, and another situation where she snapped. She might have different personalities. So she might have one bipolar where she's like calm, and then in the head, this one personality pops up like, I'm ready to go.
Oh, guys. So, yeah. No, you're right.
That actually makes so much sense.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
That makes so much sense.
If we're thinking about Harley Quinn, she's like the voices, like schizophrenic.
Yes, that makes so much sense.
So that's why,
Yes, go T.
T just comes
Full disclosure, T is a big comic nerd.
No, I know, which is
all things DC, all things Marvels to the audience. If anybody knows what she's talking about, is this one right here.
Yeah, it's T. If you're not watching the video, B was just pointing towards T. She's the one who actually understands what she's talking about, and she was like quiet 90% of this time. Except for when she came in with the knowledge bombs that we were all like, actually, yeah. To piggyback off of what T just started.
She's running the whole like Harley Quinn, Joker lore in her head.
So, literally, I'm doing it. I'm like, hold on. This could be, I see.
Oh. There was something that T and I was talking about the other day, and we wanted to bring this up. So, like, there were characters within the book that we were like, I wonder if these are supposed to be other DC characters. Like, we were, like, thinking that Dick Grayson was one of the detectives. And then there was another character that we were thinking.
Was it Jason Todd?
Oh, yeah, Jason Todd.
Young boy, but
the guy that Ghost was talking to in the jail yard. We thought maybe that made Jason Todd, who was Red Hood.
Mm-hmm. So that would be so
we thought
cool.
Maybe there might be other characters that are influences of DC.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
This would be a great time to edit me just looking clueless the whole time.
I literally was staring at you the whole time. I was like, Kaitlyn's like, so, disclaimer, I know nothing.
I'm just going to tell you that I can say that Red Hood is a morally gray character in DC.
I feel
I love Dick Grayson.
So out of the loop, but it correlates because you're connecting it to books.
You know who Nightwing is?
Yeah.
No. When I tell you I'm just a girl, I'm literally just a girl.
I can't.
No idea.
Okay, girl.
What are we, chopped liver?
No, you guys are actually more evolved because you know more things than I do.
We're just evolved girls living in. Okay, sorry.
We're all just a girl. I'm just one that does not know that aspect of things. But I love it, and I love learning more when you guys tell me.
She listens so well.
Oh.
Thanks, B. That brings me to my next question, which was, what did everyone rate the book?
My name's B, and I give it a 4-star.
I think I gave it, I don't remember.
I probably gave it 5 on Goodreads, but I think I gave it a 4. I'm pretty sure it's a 4-star read for me, but only because of the ending.
My name is June. I did give it 5 stars. Going back, I would revise it to like a 4.75 rounded up to 5 stars, because I do think that ending was a bit abrupt. That's my only critique for the whole book, is that the ending was a bit abrupt. The rest of it, I feel like, was executed perfectly.
I did give it 5 stars, but I would probably give like a 4.8. The ending, I would say, yeah.
Okay, and I'm Kaitlynd, and I originally gave it a 4-star, but I might do 3.75 because of the ending. And there was just like, oh no, so for me, 3.75 is good. Like, I rarely give 5s, so like even like that's a good one. 4, like if we round it up, okay, you know what? I'll just say 4 because everyone's looking at me. I would say, so sorry. No, I really liked it. For me, like 3. Anything 3 to 4 is like still really good. I would recommend it, but I would choose who I recommend it to. I still think everything resonated to me, but with me, there was just some things. So it's like 3.75 to 4, mostly because of the ending. And then also there was just a couple things throughout, either pacing or plot wise, that I was just like, not for me, but I thoroughly enjoyed this book. I loved it. Like, it's not a bad book. Like, for me, like 3 sounds harsh, but like I rarely give out 5s. So like a 3 is almost a 4, and a 4 is like a 5 sometimes for me. If you guys want to see my rating, I think there might be a video on my TikTok on how I like expanded upon my rating system. Oh yeah. I'll try to repost it sometime soon, or like pin it to my TikTok.
Everybody can give me their arcs. Everybody get a 5-star.
When you said that, when you said some of the plot, like some things that reading the book, I was like, oh wait, what about this situation? Can we expand on that? I was like, okay, maybe a 4.4.
We'll have to like
4.5.
I'll share my rating system in our group chat, so you guys can kind of see like how I choose and why, and then hopefully it'll make more sense. Like for me, 5, like for me 5 is what people call a 6-star read. So I don't really like. It's like professors who don't
There's
like
no
giving
room for improvement.
Yeah, it's like professors who don't like giving out A's. I'm one of those, unfortunately. And I worked in academics.
Rate my professor. Caitlin is the hardest.
I ended the class with an 89.999. This one's going to be one of our longer episodes, which is like kind of great for an episode too, but we want to give time for June to take the floor, to take the stand, and plead her case. This is something we talked about last episode. She wanted to plead her case, and we said we would talk about it this episode. So June, none of us know, by the way, BT and I, Kaitlynd, we don't know what case June is about to plead. So the fact that she still remembers is crazy, and I cannot wait to hear. So please take the stand. Do you swear by the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and only the whatever they say?
I do. Whatever they say.
Do you swear by the truth, only by the truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, that's what they say. Yep.
I was getting there. I think I even said it.
The whole truth, nothing but the truth.
You probably did. No, I think you.
I probably
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth. That's what it is. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Both of my cases are related to brimstone.
Okay, fair.
Okay, great. I have to go get the book because I did write down page numbers.
It's okay. We'll give you outro music, or
Oh, SB. Oh, she's getting dressed and robed. Now rise.
All rise.
Now,
court is now in session.
Go ahead, June.
So
Plead your
my
case.
first case is the one that I feel is the least strongest, and then I'll go into my strongest case. I do, for case 1, think that there was something else up in the library that Saris was supposed to find, and my logic for this is on page 287 and 411. It's at the beginning where she said something had bitten me, no, something had cut me.
Okay, yeah.
And then we skip down to the second time that the bird cut her, which was at the bottom of the page.
Okay.
So my thought process is, right, because based off of how that happened, she was cut, she didn't know she was cut, and she touched the back of her head and there was blood. And then she was walking again, the stargazer cut her a second time across her cheek, which again made no sense. And so to me, I was just like, oh, maybe somebody else attacked her and it wasn't actually the stargazer. But then I went to page 411 and we see what happens when the stargazer cuts her that time in the library. This time the stargazer only cut her one time, and then immediately the book started forming.
Right.
So my theory is I feel like that first bird was trying to bring her to something else, I guess, because it didn't, like, why did it cut her twice, and why wasn't the first time it cut her enough to form the book like the second Stargazer?
Outside of the So I don't have the text in front of me. So I'm going off of the dome, off of the memory. So that first one was the one who was supposed to like guide her to the book, but then she stepped outside the bounds and then that one died, right? We're talking about that one?
Well, that was the second time. So it cut her first time when she was in the library, and then she started walking towards the stairs again, and then it cut her again across her cheek, and that's when it flew out.
Okay. So that little piece, the one that died, was the one that had the last page that she ended up finding, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But you think that Stargazer was trying to tell her of something else, or one of the cuts was not the Stargazer?
Yes.
Now that would be interesting because we also had Foley in the library at that time too,
Exactly.
right?
Yes, he was in the library at the time.
And then we had a lot of mystical beings in light. We had the shadow cat thing there. What was the blood cat called? We had that thing.
It had a name?
I don't know. We had that thing.
It did have a name. I just forget what it was.
Yeah, the shadow cat.
I don't remember what
We'll
that
call
name
him the
was.
shadow.
Yeah, Shadow Cat.
We'll call it Shadow Kitty because it's like Shadow Daddy. Well, so we had the Shadow Kitty that was bloodthirsty. We had Foley, another bloodthirsty enemy. I mean, he was a vampire and also did not care to trust her. And then the Stargazer. And honestly, June, you may be onto something. For me, I thought that loop was closed because, like, at first pass, to me, when it got re-mentioned, when she brought it back to her memory, like, oh, the bird that died, the Stargazer that died, must have been that last missing piece, which I felt like she ended up finding in the future.
I thought I was going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she found that.
That was where I was headed.
The page. But if there is a page missing from that diary outside of the big, like, whams that we had in the book.
Okay. My second case is that I do feel like Carrion's plant daddy powers are going to be integral into restoring the land after the rot.
Wait, no. Okay, but
I love that.
that's a good theory. That's a good. And
so for that one, my logic is on.
I love a girl with
127.
citations.
So it's the tie. Page 127, right? It says, and where the bodies lie, the rot spreads and multiplies. It claims any vegetation, any creature, living or dead. It travels over snow, scorched ground without issue. We've yet to figure out a way to stop it. So that explains what the rot is, right? But then if we go to page 517, which is where Carrion discovers his plant daddy powers. Right here, Carrion is saying, that's what I was trying to show you. They all keep doing that. I started collecting these plants yesterday. They were just little cuttings or seeds that I planted, and now, and then he shows the plant. And he said this plant isn't even supposed to flower. It releases spores every 10 years instead. But those are flowers, right? And they keep blooming every time I speak. So he's able to create something that's not actually supposed to be happening with that plant, which leads me to believe that, like, he can generate whatever plant daddy powers he has. He's able to regenerate things that aren't necessarily supposed to be there. And so after the rot destroys the land, I feel like Carrion could have the power to restore the land based off of us seeing his interaction with the flowers.
Carrion, I flower every time you speak to baby. Every time.
That made me emotional. I was tearing up.
So
like
good.
I want
Carrion
the
the
best
restorer.
for Carrion so bad. Like,
So much.
He makes me want to
different
cry. and,
reactions is insane. Caitlin is crying. I'm over here like, Carrion, I will blossom for you.
No, I'll do that too, but so tenderly and like lovingly. But like, as June was like, I was just like, because he's gone through so much these past two books, for him to have
Okay,
such.
okay, Caitlin, don't get emotional. Get emotional next episode.
Okay, yeah,
Next episode.
Compose yourself.
yes.
Compose yourself.
With that, I what is it? Closing statements. I yield the floor.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna give me a second. Hold on. Guys, I love Carrion so bad. We'll talk about him next episode.
I'm so scared. I don't know what's gonna happen to him, and I'm scared. Because suppose...
Stop. No, hold on. Don't do that, because I will cry.
Next episode.
If you even mention any type of arc for him, I will. All right, so we are coming back to a segment we introduced last episode, but I wanted to clarify the rules a little bit. We are bringing back Bark or Bite, which is our legally distinct, morally flexible version of Smash or Pass. Okay, so bark means smash, bite means pass. Bark, I see it, I'd entertain it, yes, it's for me. Bite, not for me, no thank you, gonna back away slowly, because we don't want to be feeders with rabies.
Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome. However,
You needed to clarify. Needed to be clear.
last time we kind of I didn't do that, and we kind of we mixed it up a little bit. But because we are talking about dark romance, and because tonight's MMC is in fact a psychopath, I'm gonna introduce a third option, and that is Muzzle.
Oh.
Yeah, Muzzle means absolutely not jail therapy, which, jail's already there. It's already in the cards. But something else will have to intervene, contain this man. Don't even bring them near me. The MMC that we're bringing to attention for Bark, Bite, or Muzzle is Depraved Devotion's Ghost. I would so like to hear everyone's answer. Bark, Bite, Muzzle.
I'll start. Muzzle.
I'm a bite.
Okay, so you get to come in the room. You get to sniff him a little bit.
Y'all are making me feel like there's something wrong with me. I was gonna bark. I'm gonna bark.
Kaitlynd.
No, I love that so much. Yeah. For me, I would also muzzle. I just think, I would be, no explanation.
Scared.
I would just muzzle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Same.
Do I need therapy?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe. I'm biting,
bit.
so.
You
Okay.
also might need a little bit of help. But
I was
Yeah, just morally, spiritually, emotionally,
I couldn't.
not for,
That's a level of obsession that I will pass on all day long.
I couldn't even bring that man home to my family.
You know what I mean?
We didn't say anything about bringing them home.
I see what y'all saying.
Okay, so are we talking like one night, like you just meet him? Like I guess sure.
first time meeting.
Circumstantial?
If we were Geneva, Bark, Bite, or
Muzzle.
I would not have given that man any chances.
Yeah, muzzle.
Knowing him after the book, if I were to be able
Muzzle.
to be Geneva at the beginning of the book, and seeing him in that courtroom, June.
Yeah, no, June, we
no,
are
honestly,
calling
sorry.
you a psychologist, a therapist today.
Yeah.
Today.
And he become obsessed with me. I'm leaving the town.
I don't mean to judge or yuck your yum. You know what? June can be Geneva through and through. Repeat it all over again, baby. She already knows what's in store, so go for it.
I don't want to live my life in fear.
I feel like it's just it's a bark. Like I don't want to marry him. I wouldn't like
Girl,
bring him home.
he is a psychopath and obsessive. You don't have a choice. You don't get an option in anything that happens in it.
Yeah, no
Like,
free will.
just imagine, because like we all know we all have superpowers. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's not just gonna hit it and quit it. You're stuck with him for life. A good amount of time.
Okay,
And don't entertain no other men.
If that's the clarification, I'm fine with that part. But if that's the clarification that like if I like he's stuck with me for the rest of my life, if I choose to bark, then I will bite. But if it's like a passing, fling, I would still bark.
Based off of his character, there's no such thing as a fling.
Look, I will be the barista at the coffee shop, and I would be, oh hi, okay, goodbye. That's it. That's my sniff.
Yeah,
You just want to interact with him and then just like be close to him, be in his, be in the
For a
vicinity.
second. That don't need no more time.
Y'all want to sit in the courtroom like Geneva.
Yeah, I want to see him
Y'all want to see him unalive a man.
That's
Okay.
it. I said bite.
Therapy.
So for this rapid fire bark or bite, we had 2 muzzles, 1 bite, and 1 bark.
She said a circumstantial bark. She said it depends on the circumstance. The scenario bark.
But I love it.
I'm not the one who needs therapy. It's June.
She's like, you know what? I'll take that, and I'll take Ghost.
Yeah,
She's
that
like,
one's on me.
and when I tame that beast, y'all are gonna be.
I don't want to hear nothing from nobody.
You know what? Tame what? Tame
Oh.
what?
Oh.
I'll tame you.
He can't tame me. Oh,
And yes, he will. Yes,
want-
he
See,
will.
June, this is what we talk about.
No, I loved all of that. Oh my gosh, this has been such a fun and great episode. Honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna toss it to B for all of the closing remarks, and then we'll wrap it up.
Our dear friends, we just want to say thank you for tuning in today. It has been a fun time on It's Canon, and now it's time to go read your book. Like a good girl.
Oh, she did it again.
It's just the whisper.
Wait, how do we do that? How do we do the growl? How did they? You sound like you're snoring. You're like,
I know what you are.
Violet Sorgea.
who did that? Oh my god, that was so good.
Thank you. It was me.
That was so good.
I'm multifaceted.
She is.
Thanks everyone for listening. Like B said, go read your book, but you have to rewind 30 seconds to hear how she said it. You can find us on all platforms. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. We love you all so much, and that's Canon.